Alrighty, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Bojan Petreski. Today is December 15th, 2021, and we will be trading Forex and crypto today on our channel. The disclaimer is there for your use, your protection. Please make sure to read and understand it, and that this is for educational purposes only. And we'll be getting started in just a few seconds now. Just want to make sure we're looking good across the board here. I believe we're all set. Yep, I think we're all good. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Yep, everything's good. Alrighty, so what's the agenda for today's session? So we'll be looking at the current market environment. We're going to be looking at closed trades. We're going to manage any open positions, and we're going to execute on new opportunities. Let's go ahead and get started with that. In the meantime, if yeah, everything's looking good here. Just want to double check everything. Okay. In the meantime, if you have any questions or any instruments that you're looking at that maybe you want me to take a look at as well, please feel free to type it in any one of the chats that we're streaming to. You know, YouTube, Facebook, our own private stream, and LinkedIn as well. So I'll be getting started. A couple of things that we'll be looking at first. We do have crypto that we're going to look at. We're also going to look at some of the majors on Forex. We're going to be analyzing those. If there are any requests, as I said, please feel free to type them in the chat. In the meantime, though, I'll be getting started with some of the majors in Forex and then switching over to crypto after that. Okay, we're looking good across the board, I think. Yep. All right, as far as closed trades from before, let me see what I got here in our saved screenshots. There we go. Last time that we did these was basically in the beginning of the month. And yeah, and in November. So last time we did one of these, we actually had a couple of them on the 1st of December. So the first one we had was a Bitcoin hourly setup, which ended up triggering, and then I don't believe it took a T1. It just went straight to the stop. So that one was a loss. On the Euro Yen 4 hour, this one I'm not quite sure. Let me just take a look at that. Euro Yen. We did look at this with one of the other students here. Yeah, I believe it ended up triggering. Yeah. So it did end up triggering here on the 7th of December. And let's see what actually happened. There we go. So our entry was at 128.39. So our entry was at 128.39, and our exit was at our stop loss was at 59. So why didn't this go through? Unless it did. Yeah, so it looks like we did get filled here on the 7th. For some reason, this one, let me just double check here. History, where is the yen? Euro yen, here it is. It filled, yeah, 128.39, filled actually a little bit better. But why did the limits get canceled? I'm not quite sure what happened here, but it did fill 128.39, right? This is where we got the fill. So on this candle here, we got the fill. We did hit T1 right there, 128, 181. So that was T1 there, 128, 181. So that was T1. All right. And this was on the 4 hour and 21 minutes. So let's look at it exactly the way we did it. Yeah, there it is. All right. So T1, sorry about that. So T1 did get hit right there on this big move down. So let's just call it somewhere around here. That was T1. See this, we should easily see this on the chart, but for some reason, those targets got canceled. And I'm not quite sure why, because I made sure to enter them properly. So this was T1 right there. Now T2 was well down below at 127.24. So 127.24 was definitely not hit, right? Would have been amazing if it was. So this would have definitely stopped out somewhere. Now, in order for us to find exactly where, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back. Okay, so here it's actually showing that this is where it stopped out. Weird. All right, let me, did I have that same arrow? Yeah, here's that same arrow on that way up for the stop out, but we already got T1. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that here. So I'm just gonna throw a trend line here. 127.39 is where we got filled, and 181 was our T1. So that was good, right? And that was our T1. This line now. And then for T2, what we're going to do is actually go back in time just to figure it out, because I am very curious to see what actually happened here. All right, so let's see that. All right, so we have, there's our T1, UFO gone. New UFO has formed at right above 390, which was our entry. So that means that our stop would have gone right here. 39 plus 5, so 395 is where our stop would have been. 395. Okay, so that's, I'm just going to change the color of it to this red one here. So 395 is where our stop would have been. Okay, let's see. All right, there we are. We have a new UFO that formed at 192 plus 5, so that would be 197 right there. Okay. A new green UFO formed there, and it got used up. Okay, so there's a good chance that this is where it would happen. All right, there we go. New UFO has formed there as well. 878 plus 5, that would be 883. Try to get that here exactly. All right. And then we go forward, and that's our stop right there. All right, so not a bad trade at all. Trail stop triggered. All right. Okay. So we've got a pretty decent move here. Now, pretty nice trade if you ask me. This is not a bad trade at all. So that's T1, and that's the trail stop. I'm going to take a screenshot of this so we can have it for the record. 2021, 12/15, since that's today's date that we are recording it. this was the Euro JPY, and this is on the 4-hour exit. All right, and that's that. So how did this play out after that? Another UFO there, another UFO. I mean, it's kind of more or less cheating because we knew that it just rocketed on up, but we were definitely out for a win. I mean, T1, and then we're getting our uh, trail stop trigger there. So we're fairly good here, guys. We did pretty good on this one. All right. Are there any questions about this one? Any comments? Anybody that took it, please feel free to type it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one, which we looked at, which was the dollar franc. Okay, so we sold the 92.09. Let's see how that fared. I'm just going to exit replay mode. So the dollar franc is going to be in the majors. Dollar CHF. There it is. All right, our setup was also on the 4-hour, so 4-hour with the 21-minute. We're good on that. And this one looks like it did trigger as well. Let's see where it triggered. I know I had this line here for an alert, and I remember it triggering the alert, but I was already in the trade. Here it is. Okay, so what happened here might have just been a full stop, perhaps. This is the candle of entry here, December 2nd, 92.09. Our stop was fairly tight. That's probably why it took this. 180, which, yeah, you got wicked out here. Okay, so we do the same thing. This was our entry, and it just went and stopped out here on this wick. Yep. Okay. Stopped out. Okay. Pretty easy. Just take a screenshot as well. USD, CHF. All right, save that. 21.1, 12, 15. It is the USD CHF 4-hour exit. Okay, and then the next one we had, I think we have one more. The euro, I'm sorry, the dollar yen, not the euro yen. The dollar yen. Dollar yen. This needs to calm down a little bit. Let's go ahead and reset that. Okay. Now the dollar yen was also the 4-hour setup. Look at that. 4-hour setups across the board. Okay. So let's take a look at this here. All right. Excuse me. So for the, let's see here. Yeah. Let me open up the dollar yen. For the dollar yen, we were also shorting. It was the 13.30 that we took. Right on that. Oh my God, beautiful wick. Oh, this I think might have hit T2. Excuse me. I'm getting some sort of an allergic reaction or something. So this is where we got filled. Look at that beautiful wick, right? Almost no money down. That's the entry. All right. T1 was at 113.12. So T1 was 113.12. So we got in here at 310, right? 300 was actually our entry right here. Through 113.12 is right on this wick here. All right, so that's T1. T1. Now T2 was actually at 112, 112.33. Okay, so that one definitely didn't hit. I thought it was a pretty decent move down, but all right, so let's do the same thing we did here. Let's go back in time. We got our T1 coming up right there. T1's done. Okay. Now our stop, remember our stop is at 113.48, so it's up here. All right, so I'm just gonna place the stop here, horizontal. It's at 48 right now, about there. Okay, so that's our stop. T1's already hit. We're happy. Doing a little analysis of where to go next, and there it is. Where to go next? It's given us a new UFO at 13,302. So our stop will be around this 35 area. Okay. All right. New UFO forming right there, 136. Moving our stop to 180 something, 186. Okay. All right. We're deep in profits now. New UFO just formed there right above this wick. So we're going to move it up here above this wick somewhere. It disappeared on me. Even though we're doing market replay, I'd have to go to a smaller time frame or something to see if I can figure out where it went. Okay. Still not stopped out yet. Came pretty close. Oh, there it is. All right. So that's our trail stop. Trail stop triggered. Okay, so that was also a profitable trade. Okay, right there. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. We're going to take a screenshot. USDN 2021 12.15, and this is the dollar yen 4-hour exit. Alrighty. So far, looking pretty solid. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions or if you have any comments. I'll be more than glad to answer any questions. In the meantime, let's get our thinking caps on and look for any other opportunities. All right, I'm just going to remove this horizontal line so it doesn't bother us. Go all the way to the end and just reset this page. All right, so what do we do now? We're going to go ahead and look for new opportunities. How do we start? We go from the daily to the 55-minute and drill on down. All right, so for the dollar yen, we don't have a confirmation on the daily climate. Therefore, we immediately skip to the 4-hour. The 4-hour is currently on the 6th up candle out of typically 8. So we're not too late to this party. But, you know, we should also manage our expectations that this might not trigger, mainly because it's a little bit far from the ATR already. But let's go ahead and take a look. How do we take a look? What do we do? How do we analyze these markets? Well, I'm going to explain that right now. And then once I explain this one scenario, then we can go from there to basically execute on these trades and look for more and more opportunities. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the auto climate. The auto climate is down below here. The auto climate has essentially three different scenarios. It can be a confirmed, let me just zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see. It can be a confirmed up climate by being a thick blue dot. It can be a confirmed red dot, right? A thick dot that's red. That is a confirmed down climate. right? So that's a confirmed down climate. Or scenario number 3, it could be either a thin red dot or a thin blue dot, right? These things do not matter. They're the same. This just means that this is an unconfirmed climate. All right, so when the climate is not confirmed, what do? We sit on our hands or we look for other opportunities, right? So, but if the climate is unconfirmed, we do nothing. All right, since in this scenario, the climate is confirmed, it is an up climate confirmation, we will be looking for opportunities to go long. How do we do that? Well, we do that with a couple of different, both common and uncommon helpful tools, let's call them, right? Indicators. Those couple of indicators are the following. On this larger common time frame, the 4-hour time frame, we look for the 9 exponential moving average. That's the 9 EMA. That's that blue line right here that you see trailing across. We look at the number that 9 EMA is representing, 113,737, and we look for that number, right, that 9 moving average, to be enveloped by an auto UFO right here, right? So is this 113,737 within this UFO? Well, I would say yes, it is. Now, the caveat is, right, this is a moving average, so it moves. So if we were to be a little bit more aggressive, we can certainly put our buy entry right here. Where is my drawing tool? So to go long, right, we could certainly put that here. Okay, to go long. Why is it? Every time I do this, I swear to God. There it is. Now it's fine. So our stop would be somewhere around here. That's our T1, a 1-to-1, right? And that's what it would look like when we're entering this trade. And for I will be going ahead with this trade. I will be entering it. So we'll do a buy, and it's at 113,754. We're going to just round this up to 113.75. We'll do a take profit and a stop loss, and I'm not going to do this good till date. We're going to do it until a month from now, the 15th. Okay. We're going to be putting in our stop below this UFO. So right now the stop is at, the UFO ends at 113,666, right? Well, we're going to round this down to 113.66, and we're going to add a little bit of wiggle room, put it at 61, 5 pips of wiggle room. We're going to do the same exact thing for the take profit. Okay, so now it's 1-to-1. We are looking to risk 150 bucks on this first leg. All right, so there's that. We're going to buy that right there. Now for the final target, we're going to switch gears from this left side time frame to the right side time frame, the 4-hour, and look for the first opposing UFO. What does opposing UFO mean? Well, we're going long on a green UFO, so we should be. I just realized I made a small mistake here. This buy, I rounded it down instead of up on the entry, but this is fine still because this will just give us a little bit more risk tolerance. That's quite okay. So for the same thing here, we're going to buy at 113.75, and we're going to do a stop loss at the same exact location, 113.61. Okay, and we're going to take our final profit over here at 114.592. 114.592. Okay, and I'm just going to round this down to 59. All right, so risking that same amount, same good till date. We're going to go ahead and click buy. And that's that. Now we have our setup. That's our opposing UFO, right? You see it up here. This area right here. And that's where we're taking our profit, right before it. All right, so what's the next step that we do? Well, we take a screenshot. USD yen. Now, something that needs to be said about this trade, um, since obviously it only has essentially 8 more hours. So maybe what I should do is the following. So actually, I'm gonna do a little bit something different here. So I'm gonna cancel these orders. I'm gonna cancel both of them. Okay, I'm gonna cancel both of these orders and re-enter them because I want to do something a little bit more advanced, right? Our climate is currently, as you see here, it's on the sixth 4-hour candle out of typically 8. Even though 707, we rounded up because we want to give the climate time to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this so if it doesn't fill in the next, as you see, this one just started, in the next 8 hours, this trade will automatically get canceled. Since we have that capability to do that in TradingView, we're going to be buying, and now I'm going to actually put the numbers right. So 113,754 is the UFO, and I'm just going to round this up and add 1. So 113.76. The stop loss is going to remain the same, 113.61. Okay, and this will be 15 pips, risking 150. Okay, so and then this will be good until so today, and then obviously 8 hours from today is going to be 2:30. Let's just call it until 3, so it's nice and safe. All right, so we're going to be doing that same exact thing. We're going to be setting that to expire. Well, not tomorrow at 3. Today at 3. Today at 3. If it doesn't get filled by then, this will automatically be canceled. All right, so it's good until that date. So we're going to go ahead and buy it. There we are. Same thing, buy 113.76. Take profit, stop loss stays the same. And now our final target we said is 114.592. Just going to round it down to 59. Same thing, good till that date. Boom. All right. Now we have a little bit more of an advanced order, right? If the climate goes against us and we just don't want to watch this in front of the screen all day, or maybe we'll be, who knows, we'll be busy at that time or whatever, that's okay because now we've told the system, hey, if this doesn't fill by then, just go ahead and cancel this trade. And then that'll be that. All right. So let's go ahead and save that. 2021, 12/15. We're looking at the USD JPY. This is again 4-hour setup. Okay. That's that. Now, we're already at the bottom of the hour. We have found one trade that we're executing on right now. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's switch gears to the dollar franc. Okay, so on the daily climate, we have unconfirmed climate. Therefore, what do? We skip on to the 4-hour. 4-hour is confirmed, the sixth one out of typically 5. So what do? Skip on to the next one. Hourly says second out of typically 6. All right. 92,471. That's within this UFO. That's actually an entry. This might have already played out given the fact that it actually touched right, right as we started the session here. So the entry, the optimal entry would have been right there if you got filled. If not, it's okay. That's why we always put the entries a little bit above. Okay, and you would have already hit T1 somewhere around here. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip on this one. All right. back to the drawing board. Uh, all right, so on the daily, on the pound dollar, we actually have a confirmed down climate, the second one out of typically six. So this is definitely in the beginning stages. However, we have absolutely no UFOs. The nearest UFO is all the way up here at 34,889. Currently, price is at 32,455. Nothing to do there. Let's go ahead and switch to the 4 hour. Okay, the 4 hour is actually an up climate. The sixth one, actually, 3 5. So the fifth one out of typically five. Even so, too close to call. Let's switch to the hourly. Overextended. All right. Switching on to the next one. Not quite sure why it's having such a slow, hard time to load this information. This is all server side, so unless TradingView is having issues, um, then it might be a different story. Okay. Let me just see if maybe it's something on my end here, but I don't see anything that might be causing any issues. All right. Okay, so here we go. For the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, we're looking at a confirmed climate. Typically goes up for 6 days. Okay, oof, but it's already trading below the moving average, folks. Nothing to do here either. Unfortunately for us, right? Yeah, moving average is at 67,450. Price is currently at 67,430. We could watch this, and if a UFO, let's say this bounces up from here, and a UFO forms right here, so then that's an entry, right? So let's say price were to just bounce off from here, create this UFO, retrace, and then head on up, then that's your entry right there. But as of right now, we're not going to watch it. Obviously, um, we just need to keep looking for other opportunities. The 4 hour we said was already trading below the moving average. Okay, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Okay. All right. Second, let's go from the daily. Start from the top. Okay. On the daily, it's actually trading. It's now trading right above the moving average. UFO right there at 71,326. All right. So this. Wait, what are we doing? Hold on. Hold on. It's a confirmed down climate. What am I doing? It's a confirmed down climate. We're looking for. It's currently trading above the moving average. No red UFOs. For some reason, so I guess it must be. Let me take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, I was looking for a long entry, but it's a confirmed down climate, so we're not going to be doing that. We're going to skip. That's probably why I got my things mixed up because I saw it on the 4 hour as a confirmed up climate. So we're looking good on the 4 hour to go in on it. So we're looking at the second 4 hour candle of typically 7. Moving average at 71, 279. AutoUFOs are still loading here on this chart. So 71, 279 will actually meet up with this UFO here. All right, so we do have a setup on this as well. Let's go ahead and put that on. So we're going to buy 0.7127. Oops, sorry about that. Take profit and stop loss 0.71222. Round this down to 22 minus 5. We're looking at, come on, math, don't give up on me. 1.7. Okay, so 8.9 pips. That doesn't sound right. So this is ending at 71222. We immediately just round it off at a lower 7122, and we take away 5 pips. Yeah, so 22 minus 5, last I checked, was 17. All right, let's go ahead and do that. 17. So 71.17, yeah, 8.6 pips. Okay. 9 pips as well, 71350. Okay. We're going to risk 150 a pop. Okay, now something's changing. Oh yeah, because the price is moving. 71.27 is our entry. 71.27 even. So we're going to give it. Let me just double check that for this one, because I do get them wrong from time to time. Oh, what's that? Yeah, so there it is. When we're buying, we're going to round up and we're going to add 2 more pips for the entry. Just wanted to confirm that. So 71.27. So we're going to be going in at 71.29. Okay. 71.17, and this should also be 12. Okay. Now this one is going to be good for a month. We're going to keep it like that. All right. Put that on. Good. Okay. Let's buy the second leg, which is 71.29 is our entry. Stop loss remains the same. Now the take profit is going to be this opposing UFO, which ends at 71.565. Okay, 71.565, and we're just going to round it down to 56. And same thing in force for a month. There's that. There's that. All right. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this as well. All right, save that. 2021, 12.15 USD, and this is the 4-hour setup. All right, folks, we're actually almost done with this. What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm actually going to switch over to the. Thanks, AMD Beecher. Yeah, I use the AutoUFOs daily myself, and it's very visual, very easy to understand, very easy to follow. Really, 100%, I agree with you. The best apps, not because I'm the instructor for these, but because I am a personal user of this information. So, I'm not saying it guarantees success, but I am saying that it makes it easier to, backtest and figure things out. So let's go ahead and switch over to crypto. So let's take a look at some of these. All right. First one on the list is Cardano, because I just have it sorted by the percent change, so it's negative 20, negative 3.5%. Okay. All right, so overextended, and we don't actually have the information. I forgot. We gotta just stick to the 4-hour. All right, so recently confirmed down climate on Cardano. This is the first one out of typically 7. All right, so let's go ahead and switch to Cardano on the 21 minute actually, but we don't have any UFOs, so let's reload them. All right, and there's actually a UFO there. So this we're looking at. Oh, new UFO just formed there. So 2474. All right, so this would actually be a good entry here. Now, full disclosure here, because that's how it's supposed to be. I am long on Cardano. However, right now I am getting conflicting information um, that basically we should be going for a short opportunity. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what the plan says that we should do. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, let's take a look here and set it up. So let's go ahead and open up our trade manager here. So we're going to be selling at 1.2469. That's the beginning of this UFO here. Take profit and stop loss. So the stop would need to go above 1.2657. I usually just like to give it another couple of cents here and there. So usually, depending on the instrument, for example, this one trades with fours, so I would give it just 26.77, for example. All right, and risking 150 again. Okay, so and time in force for a month, which actually this is 4 hours. So essentially speaking, if in 7 times 4 is 20. 7 times 4 is 7 times 4, 28. Divide that by 4 increments, that's 7. So if essentially this does not trade, it does not fill by tomorrow by plus 4 by, let's call it 10. So if this does not fill by tomorrow 10 o'clock my time, where it's going to go ahead and cancel. All right. So there's that. Okay, that's our first leg. Now the second leg that we got to set up is we got to do the same thing. So 124.69. Stop loss remains the same. Now our take profit, our final take profit will be at 118.42. I'm just going to give this a little bit more. So I'm going to put it at 185. All right. And same thing if by tomorrow, well, actually this one, see, that's the problem with this one. I'm going to put this one for a month, mainly because if this fills, right, let's say this bounces and it fills, and it takes a whole month for ADA to come down to 118.50, it's going to cancel out that that exit. So, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and put it in for a month on the second leg. All right. And that's kind of that for 88. Let's go ahead, go to Bitcoin. Looks like Bitcoin is also kind of in a similar situation, except it's in an unconfirmed climate on the 4 hour. On the hourly, though, let's see how we're looking on the hourly. On the hourly, we are confirmed, okay? And we don't have a UFO down below. Okay, so 47,865. Okay, that's not going to work out too well because there's just nothing there. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. See how ETH is looking. Okay, 38.28 is the moving average. It just excuse me. It just barely makes it for this one, but unfortunately, if this were to bounce up, it's definitely going to miss this UFO. So it's literally missing it by a few bucks. All right, so let's see. If we go down to, this is the hour, let's go to the 4 hour, 1 minute. Okay. Okay, Sestra, ZEC, USDT, I'll do that one next. 38.29.44. 38.29. No, we don't have. Yeah, this is. It's gonna miss this one too. All right, so let's take a look at ZEC USDT. Zcash. Okay. Isn't it funny how they almost all 100% of the time, especially when they're selling off, they all look like whatever Bitcoin is doing, they do, and in either a smaller or a bigger swing. It's kind of funny like that. All right, so 4 hour, yeah, this is the same thing here. Recently confirmed down climate. Current moving average 150.4. All right, so 150.2 is where this one ends. However, if this were to bounce, 150, 151.1, yeah, this could work right here at 151.1 to go short at. Um, so basically, if price is right now is at 146.6, if it were to go up $4, do we see the moving average moving at least one? So I would say yes. It always depends on how the move happens. However, as of right now, we're looking at a short of 151.1. Stop loss is going to be 152.7. Let's give it 20 cents. Oh, 2 cents rather. All right, looks like our Aussie filled. Wait, what? I gotta look at that. Why did I just? Yeah, it's long. Weird. I shouldn't have said all of those things, but it's okay. We'll take a look at that right as soon as we finish this one. Um, so 151.1 is our entry. 152.7 is our exit. 16 as well here. 150 of a risk. This is just recently confirmed, so I'm going to give this a day to work. If it doesn't, it should cancel out. Same thing. 151.1. Take profit, stop loss, same place. Our final exit would be at 142.7. And this one will be good for a month. There it is. Okay. So actually, did we take a screenshot of the ADA? I did not. So let's take a screenshot of this first. Print screen. So that's ZEC. Actually, let's take a screenshot of the whole screen because that also gives us an idea of how the rest of the market is doing, right? All right, save that. 2021, 12.15, and this is ZEC USDT, and this is on the 4 hour setup. All right. Let's take a look at the ADA again, just so we can take a screenshot of it. It was on the 4 hour, so we're looking good. $20.21, 12.15, ADA USD, 4 hour setup. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for putting in the request. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, do watch the channel, do see everything that we're doing here. However, they'll just kind of sit on the sidelines and not say anything. So believe me when I tell you, it's a lot more fun for me too when we have some interaction than just me doing what I already do by myself. So it's just a little bit more fun that way. Okay, let's see here. We only have another, 9 minutes till the top of the hour. I do want to see what happened with our ADA. I saw a few too many fills of something like, yes, something definitely happened here. For example, um, I got filled on the entry. The stop is there, but where's my T1? Yeah, something's really strange. It shouldn't have that many alerts that it had, right? Um, modifying cancel. See, it's canceling some orders for some reason. Why is it can't? Let's take a look at USD yen. This is so strange. It did the same exact thing. It canceled the first leg, or did it not? Yeah, it canceled my first leg. The stop is there. The I gotta look into this and figure out why it's doing that. And by the way, don't be alarmed by that's how it always starts with forex. Is they almost always start negative. It's because there's a difference between the bid and the ask. As you see, it's 1.4 pips. So you'll automatically start with the negative, and this one's already turned positive because it's reacting so strongly from it. But my issue is the following: I have my setups. Oh, okay, no, this one is actually fine. The take, it's not fine. The the take profit, my final T2 take profit is not here. Right? Here's a screenshot on the left, right? And this is what we set up. The fill quantity is correct, right? 227. But why is it only keeping the 1-to-1? I'm gonna have to look into this a little bit more. Um, yeah, but I mean, on your side, if you did get into this, you should have your T2 up here. I'm not quite sure why this didn't translate it properly. Okay, this one's moving a little bit against you, which is fine. Still got plenty of space with the stop there. Um, Still a confirmed up climate, so we're still good across the board, taking a little bit of heat, but that's expected. It's nothing unusual. Um, this one kept the T2, and yet it's okay, guys. I'll figure it out, and I'll figure out what it is that it's not jiving. Because as you see, the fill quantity is correct, but the take profit, which is right here at 71410, never it's not showing. So, but I'll figure it out, and I'll find out what happened to it, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm gonna leave the last couple minutes for any questions, any comments, anything you guys want to discuss. If not, that'll be that. I'm gonna go ahead and close out the session. Just gonna give it a few more minutes here. Take the water. All right, I'm just I'm double checking all the channels. Hey Jeff, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? All right, all right. I'm glad I had this other window open here. Would have missed that. All right, so this is moving fairly nice. This one's definitely testing a little bit lower than what we had, which is okay. Right, that's why we have the stop where we have it. Climate's in our favor. Everything's in our favor. So let's just stick with that. In the meantime, though, as a good friend of mine recently told me something that's really important. Um, Seeing red and seeing losses as a trader should be as common as a doctor seeing blood. And it's it's just part of the game, just part of the way things work. So if you're worried and you're feeling stressed out that, oh my god, I'm negative 160, you should not be risking that much money. Right? If you look at this and you're like, this is it is what it is. I'll make this on this other trade or so on and so forth. Then go for it. But if this is making you feel uneasy, and if this is making you feel like you're not okay with that loss, then I would say, yeah, definitely, definitely look either to reduce your size, which on Forex is fairly easy, on crypto the same. Um, if you're trading futures, then trade some micros. Um, but other than that, I would say, if it's not making you feel at ease with what you're seeing, that it's okay, I'm risking this much money and I'm okay with losing it, then, like I said, definitely reduce size or trade sim until you can essentially persuade yourself that what you're doing works. Because if you can't, then that means it's not working, right? You got to change some things. And if you have any questions, if you want to reach out and chat about some of the stuff, my email is right there. It's bojan@tradictiv.com. So bojan@tradictiv.com. Feel free to send me an email. Feel free to even ask a question over here at tradewithufos.com/Boyan. All right. Plenty of people have asked questions. We've answered to the best of our ability everything they've had to ask. Um, right there, as you see, right? So plenty of questions that have been asked and answered. Plenty of questions that you may have might be answered there too. So take a look. Let me know what you think. And that's that. Signing off. I'll take care, guys. I will catch you next time.